Hi, and welcome to the Crit Hit Wild podcast, where we talk about all things Marvel Crisis Protocol and review a different character every week. We're your host, Jared.
I'm Brad.
And I'm Fred.
Yeah, and this is the Steve Rogers Captain America episode. But before we get into anything, how you guys doing? Did you guys have a good week?
I'm doing fine, and I had a great week.
Good.
It's been a very sunny and pleasant week, and I feel like I've been through a very nice time.
Good. What about you, Brad?
My week has gotten better.
Yeah, yeah. Well, yeah. I guess we can just go straight into news and announcements. So Second Wind is coming up in October. It's October 15th and 16th. And if you listen to any of the other, kind of bigger podcasts that Vincent Kirchhoff has been on, he is constantly saying that the wait list is being emptied out and he's getting people in. So I was able to get in. So right now it's me, Brad, and one of our locals going. So if you happen to see us there, feel free to come say hi. Well, we'd love to see you. Love to meet a fan. You probably don't know what we look like, but you'll recognize Brad's voice. So just find us that way. We also have a tournament locally in Charleston, West Virginia, coming up on September 17th. So if you want to come down and play, are you gonna be able to make that one, Fred?
I should wait 17th.
Yeah.
Yes.
I may have a conflict, but we'll see. We'll see.
Well, hopefully, fingers crossed, most of us are there. So if you're nearby in the area and you want to come get some games of MCP down, come on down and play with us. We'd love to have you.
I'm just now realizing that our tournament for October would be during Second Wind. So I either need to move it or not have it.
I guess you could just pull
I can have it the week before, but it's 2 tournaments, 2 weekends in a row. I don't know if people are going to show up.
Run a scramble or something.
I mean, most of our tournaments basically are scrambles anyway, Jared.
I mean, that's fair, but you could
usually
just run one Wednesday night or something. Four-man scrambles.
Okay, let's just move on.
Well, it's over to you for Cerebro announcements.
Oh, Cerebro announcements. I don't have any announcements. I've been unable to work on it because of personal reasons, but it will be worked on. I might even work on it some this weekend.
Okay. We don't have anything new coming out of AMG.
That's not entirely true.
What I missed?
I've got a little bit of information.
Okay.
So the October releases are Red Skull and Sentinels, and the Sentinels come in 2 packs. There is the Prime Sentinel is a pack, and then the regular Mark IV Sentinel is a pack.
Is the Mark IV by just one model, or is it 2?
It looked like it was 1 model in the listing I saw. So you have options. I thought that you'd have to buy a pack of all 3, but it looks like you have options. So if you just want a Prime and 1 regular Sentinel, you could just buy that.
So you might have to buy the Mark IV twice.
We still don't.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. We still don't know what their stats are, though. Correct?
No, we don't know what their stats are, but they said that you can play a Prime and 2 of the regular Mark IVs together.
Okay.
So you might have to buy 3 boxes to get all 3 things if you want them. And Cassandra Nova.
Did they say that the Prime? I'll go ahead.
And you'll have to get the Jean Grey Cassandra Nova kit.
Yeah.
This is just to drive sales for that kit, which have been flagging.
I bet.
Did they? I mean, I thought I heard that Cassandra Nova was the leader. Is that still correct?
I think what they have is a tactics card in there, like they did with Corvus Glaive, where she could be the leader.
Okay.
But I bet the Prime Sentinel's going to have a leadership on his card.
Okay. I is that Corvus's takes up a Taxis card slot, right?
It sure does.
Yeah, I don't know about all that.
I don't like that. I think they should have done it like what's the
Convocation.
the bar with no doors.
Yeah. Yep, that's how they should have done it. I'm not sure why they're choosing not to. Because, like, I don't know that Corvus's leadership is strong enough to take one of your Taxis card slots, but
It's not.
yeah.
Especially compared to Thanos's.
Yeah.
It's definitely a downgrade.
But yeah, so yeah, I guess I did miss those releases, so thank you for talking about that. On the YouTube channel, the Crit Hit Wild YouTube channel, we do have some more videos that should be coming out hopefully soon. We've just had a little bit of an issue getting them uploaded, but hopefully we have some more videos coming up soon. So stay tuned. And again, if you want to see any kind of matchups, or if there's a particular crisis selection or game that you're wanting to kind of watch, you can always let us know in the comments, and we own everything pretty much between all of us, so we can make it happen. But with that, let's move on to our Longshanks factoid for the week. So what do you have for us this week, Brad?
Oh, yeah, okay. So, I was just perusing Longshanks as I do. I noticed a very interesting thing. So, there's a leaderboard section, and it tells you the top 5 players for each affiliation. And I was scrolling through, and the first one's A-Force, and the top player is Johnny Pastrami. And then the other 4 are all from the UK. And then Asgard, 4 out of 5 are from the UK. And Shield Bearer, 4 out of 5 are from the UK. That's Avengers. And then Black Order, there's 3 UK. And you scroll down, and most of them are loaded with players from the UK, England specifically. And like Defenders, it's 100%. And I was trying to think of why that is. And I think I've settled on what it is, but I'd like to hear if you guys have any theories.
I mean,
Well,
they're just built different over there in the UK.
I don't think that's it, Jared. I don't think that's it.
I think that Games Workshop is a UK based gaming company, and they started as a series of game shops, I believe, like as locations that people can get together and play tabletop games.
They still are. You can only play their games there.
Boy, isn't that just fun. Well, but I feel like perhaps that being a thing in the UK created a culture of people playing tabletop games. And even though they can't play Marvel Crisis Protocol at the Games Workshop locations, they can still find locations to get together and play this fun game. And so I think that there probably is a very robust tabletop gaming community in the UK.
So you think
That's
there's just more of them?
Well, no, that's probably not the case.
Okay.
I think that maybe what it is a lot of tabletop simulator playing. I don't know. I have no idea. Tell us.
What a better in-depth analysis and just like better answer than her built different. That was great.
It was.
Well, it's early in the morning.
It is early.
I was scrolling through. I hit on Dark Dimension. Matt's still number 1, and Jared, you're still number 3.
Oh dang!
Oh, wow.
I dropped down.
Yeah. I'm no longer on X-Men, unfortunately. Les is though. Les is number 2. So it could be that there there's certainly a higher percentage of them in a smaller space, a higher number of them in a small space.
Right.
I thought that maybe they were playing more. like just playing more games.
Yeah. I
Um,
mean, that could be the case if there are more of them in a smaller space.
right. So I started like clicking on some people and just randomly, and they've got a fair number of games. Like this person had 37, the last person I had 44, but I have, let me double check this. I personally have 53. So, like, pretty much everyone I've looked at has less games than me, but they also have less events than me. So that means their events are bigger. Like they have more people at them, they're more rounds. And I think that's the difference.
Yeah,
That,
it's more people in a smaller space. The
yeah,
amount of travel. Oh,
but
go
like
ahead.
that the events themselves are bigger. And I think that is skewing their stuff. And that the good players like um who's the Web Warriors guy?
Aaron
He's
Collier.
from the UK, right?
It's
Yeah.
Aaron, right? Yeah. I mean, you have like
Yeah.
Aaron and Pat
He,
Dunford, and like if you
yeah,
go to an event
and
with
they're
them, it's
probably
gonna.
yeah, and they're going to those UK events and playing people, and that bumps those people's scores up.
And
And we don't
here's the
have that
thing.
as much here.
Right. Here's the thing. The United States of America is very large,
It
and
is.
there are big distances between a lot of our at Charleston here. We're not a very large city, and we're lucky to pull 10 people at an event. I
Yeah,
think
and
that's a
most of those people are driving 3+ hours.
right. Driving 3 hours in the UK, you could probably get to many events. You
Yeah.
could get so perhaps just that difference in drive time and availability might make that a more sustainable thing to do. So what you're
Yeah.
saying is that I need to move to the UK.
I think we all do.
Yeah.
Aaron is 103-5. 103 wins, 5 losses.
He's
Holy moly.
he's built
That's one
That is
hell of a record.
that is
Holy moly.
crazy.
he's built different.
Wow.
Built different.
I also just noticed I was on Aaron's profile and there's an ad banner at the top, and the ad banner is talking about how you can import your um, list right into Longshanks now from Cerebro,
Ooh.
like
Nice.
with the numbers, and I'm like, that's good. Yeah, but I noticed how dominant the UK was, and I just thought it'd make a nice little discussion today.
No,
Yeah, I
that's a fun
agree.
one.
And Jared,
Hmm.
to your point, like I don't know of very many people who have that kind of record. So your statement of built different is probably the more accurate statement.
That certainly applies to Aaron.
I
He
mean,
is built different.
Pat Dunford, I think he's like one of one of the, if not like the best player in the world. Like Aaron has a really like crazy record. I think like
Well, Aaron
Pat,
used to be number one. I'm bringing up Pat's
yeah, Pat is
right
he
now.
wins like a lot of stuff, and he
He's
always does like very very
he's
well.
only 37-5.
Yeah, but he's I don't know. I don't know that Aaron plays a lot of TTS. I think Pat plays a lot of TTS, but
Well, and a lot of TTS isn't on Longshanks.
yeah, Pat always either wins or places very highly in like that 300 man event. So
I really wish they'd just put it on Longshanks. I don't know what their deal is, but we're not going to get into that.
all right, well, for this week's weekly topic, I wanted to ask you guys, maybe for somebody who is, getting into the game, or, maybe they played for a little bit, but they're maybe wanting to approach it a little bit more, not like sweaty competitively, but they're wanting to like maybe go to a local event and try to win and stuff. Or maybe for the people that also want to be sweaty too. But I want to ask you guys, what do you think is the most important thing to focus on if you're really trying to get better at the game, just like gameplay wise? Like, out of all the things that you have in the game, whether it's roster construction, crisis selection, playing on the crisis, priority control, like what do you guys think is probably the most important skill to really try to lock down in the game if you want to get better? Let's
Do you want to take this one first, Brad? Because I'm probably the worst person to ask about this question.
I guess I can go. So the first thing that like came to mind was to know what models do. You don't have to know the exact wording of every rule and every model, but generally what they do. Like I know Vision has a beam and can pump one of his two defenses, physical or energy, and has tech against being thrown and taking collateral damage. That is enough about Vision that I know what to expect out of him when he gets placed on the table. And I may look at his card, ask my opponent to look at his card to like refresh,
mm-hmm.
but I've got an idea going in what to expect about him. And I feel like I've got that for most characters in the game, if not all. And I think that's very important that you have at least a general idea of what to expect from every single model. And
Okay.
then know your models very, very well.
Yeah.
The
That
longer I played the same roster in X-Men, the better I did.
How many games do you think you forgot your cover, Brad?
Recently, none.
I mean, when
But
you
like,
started out. Yeah.
yeah, when I started out, it happened all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah. So knowing your own models, very important.
Okay.
that is excellent advice. The next piece of advice that I'd like to give is to know the objectives, like know what it is that you need to do in order to get victory points. And I mean, it doesn't matter at the end of the day who has the most models on the table, or at the end of a game who's the more beat up. What matters is who has the most victory points. So if you want to, if the least advantageous thing for you to do is to put your guy in the middle of the board, uh, trying to contest a spot, then uh, they might get killed, but they might also score you points. That's a thing to keep in mind also. And knowing how to judge that difference, knowing how to make that judgment call is probably one of the big things that's important about winning in this game also.
Okay. Solid
I like
advice.
that answer. Yeah. Good answer.
I think for me, one of the things that was maybe the trickiest for me to fully like wrap my head around that it's slightly different. I think how it works for most other games, but it's just priority control. Because that's
Yeah.
a very huge part of the game, and I think it's just it's different and like it's different from other games as to how it works. Sometimes you don't want to make attacks, which you might think is counterintuitive because this game is designed to push you toward a state of like just with the way the dice are set up and stuff, a state of models constantly being whittled down and then eventually dazed and then KO'd. So you might think it's counterintuitive to maybe not take that attack on somebody that you think that you can get the days on, but if it would lose you priority, it's sometimes worth it to not take it. So I think that maybe just managing priority and knowing when you're going to have it and who's going to have it is a pretty good skill to try to acquire, especially if you're starting out, because that's for me that was one of the trickier ones.
Absolutely. There's a tactics card that I have access to often in the games that I play that gives you priority, and I am currently blanking on what that card is called, but it is a criminal syndicate specific card that
All
All
according to
according
plan.
to plan.
all according to plan. Thank you. That exists just to give you priority. So, and it's very important.
You don't have to have priority either. You just have to be aware of how things are going to go. Like my X-Men list, I go very, very wide and I hardly ever have priority, but I know that going into the turn. And I usually have a couple activations after they're done. So that
Right.
makes up for not having priority.
Yeah, like if you're
Uh,
going really wide, like you have a plan for like not having priority.
Right.
Whereas
Yeah.
if you go really tall, so like whenever I played Malekith, I have like maybe three or four models I'm usually down, and I want to retain priority every turn, so I have to make
Yeah.
sure I manage that. So
and let's say if you're going against not spider foes, web warriors, you probably want to think about who goes last more than who goes first.
yeah,
Because
if you can actually give prio to web warriors, which is like hard to do, like in certain instances, but like you almost want to be going last against them.
right, absolutely.
All right, well, moving on to this is normally the segment where we would talk about the games we played, but literally none of us made it out to our LGS this week.
Yeah.
I was absolutely wrecked at work. I think some other people had some other plans, it seemed like, in the Discord, so no one made it out. So I thought instead, for this segment, real quick, since me and Brad are both planning, hopefully everything goes right, to go to Second Wind, I thought maybe I'd just ask you what roster you're thinking about taking to Second Wind, Brad. What you're going to be practicing
Oh
with.
yeah, let's tell everyone what we're playing so that they can beat us.
I don't think that anybody's.
I think that no one is teching against us. No
So
one is.
the original plan was to start playing Brotherhood.
Hmm.
Now that I got like 40 games in with X-Men, feel good about them. But in a Malekith world, that feels wrong. So if I have time to practice against Malekith, I'll probably take X-Men. And if I don't have time to practice against Malekith between now and then, I think I'm just going to YOLO into X-Force. I have a kind of offbeat but fun and good X-Force list. And if I lose a lot with it, I won't feel bad. So I might end up taking them.
Okay. Uh, I'm a little bit back and forth. I'm leaning more toward Avengers. But I don't actually have like the roster I would play has Steve in it, and I actually have like no games with Steve, so it might be a mistake. Or I might just still play Malekith. I feel like there's gonna be a ton of people playing Malekith, and there's gonna be a lot of people teching for Malekith, and I guess I have to weigh out whether or not I think that that tech is crazy enough to give me a loss if I put him on the table. I don't think that there's like I've been commenting over the last day or two, and I don't know that there's like yeah, you can take Helios, but like Helios is going to be there anyways, you know. So
Yeah.
I don't know if that's like enough to completely
What?
scare me off of playing him, but
Why choose? Why not play Malekith under Steve
oh
and
yeah,
do a
get
velocity
them
one?
sweet one cost ferocities. Yeah, I could do
Yeah,
that.
yeah, and watch your opponent's butthole pucker.
So I'm probably going to be uh, against better judgment playing both rosters as a practice over these next what like 6 weeks. Is that right?
Not very long.
Yeah. So I have to go back and forth, figure out what I want to do, but it'll probably be one of those two. So I am 5-0 with Malekith, so we'll see if maybe we'll just keep that going.
Yeah, but 2 of those games are against Fred.
True.
Uh, I count those. Fred's a good player. Don't detract from Fred's skill, Brad. You should go
Who
to
else have you played?
Ryan, Rob, and
Oh yeah, the
Dave.
tournament.
Yep.
Uh,
You should go second win, Fred.
you should get
Yeah.
a second win, Fred.
Yeah, I don't think it's in the cards. I
You
don't think it's
never
in the cards.
go.
I know. I
You never
suck.
go anywhere.
I'm the worst.
No, you're not. All right. Well, I think we're ready to move on to character review now. So, this week we're looking at Steve Rogers, Captain America, which annoys me that's his name because you can't use Ricochet Blast with him. But, yeah, Steve Rogers, Captain America, aka Steve Rogers. He's a 443 stat line with 6 stamina. He's 4 threat, size 2, medium mover. He has 2 physical attacks in his attack suite. One is a range 3, 5 dice. Just your standard builder, power equal to damage dealt. With a wild shield flurry trigger, after this attack is resolved, this character may make a stars and stripe attack, and it does not have the flurry special rule. He has the I don't like bullies spender, which is range 2, 7 dice, with a wild throw. After this attack is resolved, if the target character is size 3, you can throw them medium, and it also has a wild hit. After the attack is resolved, the target character gains the stun and slow special conditions. So that's a really good spender. I like that a lot. He has a reactive superpower on your left, cost 2. If this character is not holding an objective token, it advances medium. This superpower can be used once per turn. I really like that because it's an out of activation move. So then he has 2 reactive superpowers.
It's a
I
non-action.
I would
Or
like to
yeah,
clarify.
yeah,
It is not reactive.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Sorry, I misspoke. It is an out of activation.
No, it's a
Or
non-action move.
non-action move. I don't know. I keep saying out of activation.
Yeah,
Non-action
I
move.
was-
God.
Yeah. Okay. There you go.
Early in
It
the
is not able to do it out of activation.
No, it does not take an action. It's early in the morning. I'm a little bit brain dead. He has 2 reactive superpowers. One is I've knocked out tyrants over 200 times. It costs 3. While this character is attacking during the modified die step of the attack, it may use this superpower. This character may reroll any number of its attack dice. The superpower can be used once per turn. And then he has Vibranium Shield, so the same as his other iteration. Cost 2. When he's targeted by physical or energy, he may use the superpower, add 2 dice to his defense roll. And on his injured side, he goes down 1 stamina, which I thought sucked. I wish he still had that I can do this all day. Like, I don't know why they didn't give him that.
He can't. He's still young.
Yeah, you would think he'd be able to do it all day more.
No, he hasn't learned how to do it all day yet.
Well, I don't like that he can't do it all day. So, yeah, what do you guys think about Steve Rogers, Captain America? Why don't you take the lead on this one, Fred?
Yeah, I think that he rocks. I like this spender is great, and being able to reroll any dice, like reroll up to any dice with that reactive superpower, is also great. And then he has a
He has 10 power to
non-active.
do that? Oh, no. Sorry. It's
No,
only
10.
6.
No,
So
well,
it's only
6.
6. I looked
Yeah.
at the 7 dice and thought it was 7 power.
I think it's absolutely within the realm of possibility that he has 6 power on him on multiple times during a game. I think that's within the realm of possibility. He is going to be in the mix, taking hits and dealing damage. I like him. If I'm going to compare him to all of the other Captains America, I think that he's probably my least favorite because he doesn't have a leadership, and the 2 other Captains America have very good leaderships. But I like what he does more than them. He's just an in-your-face bruiser.
Okay. What do you think, Brad?
Like, there's stuff on here to like the throw on the spender, the fact that his builder has flurry, even if it's not the best trigger. The non-action move is good, but just, I don't know, as a whole package, I'm just not that excited. And it might be because I'm not gonna play anything that has him affiliated.
He
Like,
he currently does not have any assigned affiliations right
right,
now.
he's very likely Shield because of the when he's coming out and stuff. He probably not an Avenger, but he could be. They could make him Avenger anyway. But
Here's a question: might he be Hydra? Wasn't that a
no,
thing?
no,
Oh,
this one won't be Hydra. The Hydra cap, I think, will be very obviously Hydra cap.
Okay.
So I don't know. He's not bad. I'm not excited.
Yeah, I'm a little bit with you. Like I've played a handful of games with Shield, and I don't like if he is affiliated with Shield. I'm not sure that I would want to take him. Like he does give you a good like frontline bruiser, but like I played Venom in Shield, and I feel like that's probably better than
this guy is classed by Venom. Venom outclasses him.
yeah.
Absolutely.
Well,
I think in
Venom
the
is the best 4-pointer.
he's really good.
If they print a 4-pointer better than Venom, they have messed up.
They've broken the game.
I don't. So like the range 3 is like nice. It all the other Captain Americas have a range 2 and a range 4 attack. So like range 3 feels nice, I guess, for a standard builder. But I'm kind of like missing the shield throw. Like I that's one of the things I enjoy about like the other Captain Americas is that option to have a range 4 attack and just give you a flat power. Um, and then it has like that ricochet, which can potentially give you, that second power. And I like that a lot better, I think, than his builder. Like Wild Shield Flurry it doesn't feel the best. I don't know that I've hit a whole lot of my triggers on flurries ever since they went to the new change. But I also haven't played like a ton of flurry characters. Can you pull me up the percentage?
That's what I'm working on it.
I really like that spender. Like that is a good spender. Like a wild throw on 7 dice, you're
It
prob
was Wild Shield,
yeah.
25%.
Yeah, I don't like it. So like I feel like it's power equal damage dealt. It's a standard 5 die builder. So like you'll probably net a couple power, but I mean I don't know. But anyways, like the spender is really good. Like you're probably gonna hit the wild throw. So that's a medium throw on a size 3, which is really really good.
Yeah,
And
and
it
can we talk about how he could also slow them,
yeah
which
like
means that they cannot follow up on their turn. They can only go slow
yeah.
towards him.
Yeah, stun and slow, and like the chance of you hitting, like if you're hitting the wild on the throw, you're probably hitting the hit, like getting the hit trigger for the stun and the slow.
Mm-hmm.
So I really like that. I think that's a really good spender. I think that you're probably decently hitting your triggers, and like that's really really good. His out of action move.
No.
Wait, what? No, I
His
said
non-action
non-action.
consuming.
Yeah, whatever. I'm done with the superpower. Fuck it. Fuck you on your left. Um, it's good. That's always something that you want. Sorry, I'm sure everybody can hear my children in the background, so I apologize. Um, I've knocked out tyrants over 200 times. Like it's a little stinky that it costs 3. I wish
Yeah.
like reroll any.
Reroll all so good
It's
though.
really really strong, but you are looking at like 6 power, and while I agree that like you'll have 6 power probably like a couple times throughout a game, I feel like sometimes it's going to be used on vibranium shield.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know. I don't know that like I've knocked out tyrants over 200 times. You're probably using it with like stars and stripes, which maybe can net you your flurry trigger a little bit more. But I look at it as like you're getting reroll any number, and you're probably getting like a return on investment on some of that power because it's gonna let you reroll into more hits, which is gonna be more damage. So at most you're getting like a little bit of a refund there, but nothing I don't know. Like he's all right. I don't know that he's going to get taken. Like I feel like I look at this and I'd be like, oh, he'd be really cool in Avengers, but you can't play him in Avengers because of Steve. Or like you would
I
want to play
mean,
him like under that leadership. Like you could play him with Sam, but I don't think Sam really needs this character.
no, no.
Um,
Uh, do we know what his tactics cards are going to be?
so right now he has Over the Top, which just to bring that back up, that's the one where either the Howling Commandos or him can pay 2, and then you choose an enemy within 4. You can advance your speed toward them, and then the opponent gets to pick a character to make an attack against you.
Oh, the bad one. Okay.
The bad one.
Now, when you look at it, like 4 free, and for the cost of 4 power, this Captain America can make like a medium move with on your left, and then you could over the top and like completely beeline across the
Yeah,
board, and you would still have, both your actions. So, like
yeah, that's fair. That's pretty good.
that's cute,
But
you know.
but there are so many effects that happen on attacks. Like there are lots of attacks that could throw you, and your opponent just gets to pick which one they do.
Yep.
So
So I don't know, but that could be something cute. I don't like that he loses one stam either on his injured side. Like the other one, I think was at 5, then goes to 6, and I much prefer that than going from 6 to 5. And again, like I'm really missing that. I can do this all day. Like he's knocked out 200 tyrants, but he can't. He can't do it all day. So I don't know.
yeah,
Well, we can go on, I guess, to unless you guys have anything else you'd like to touch on for Captain America, Steve Rogers, we can go on to our rating.
I
I don't
Uh,
don't
have
I don't
anything.
have anything.
all right, why don't you lead us off this time, Brad? What are you giving him?
Oh, I think he's pretty solid. He may not get played all the time in his factions, but if you pick him, he's gonna do some work. So I'd say B.
B. Okay. What do you think, Fred?
Yeah.
Brad just took mine. I'm placing him square in the B category. He is he has a great spender, and that is a lot. And he's a beefy boy who can go up and I mean he can have a defense as high as 6 pretty regularly. So I think he's good and useful, and he's a B character.
I like his I like his spender a lot. I like you know on your left and vibranium shield is good. I don't know what affiliations I would take him in, and again, I've played some Shield, and I don't know that I would want to take him in Shield. So I think he's an okay character that I'm not sure where he fits in. So that would probably, I think, give me a B minus, but because On Your Left has made me so upset, I'm going to give him a C plus.
Fair.
So, all right, a round of B's and a C plus. What does that give us as an average? It's a B
Kind of
minus.
a B minus.
B minus. All right.
A high
Yeah.
B minus.
Yeah.
Well, why don't we shimmy on over to the comic book recommendations? So, what do you have for us this week, Brad?
Okay. So Captain America hasn't actually been in that many comics, and we already did him once. So I was really scraping the bottom of the barrel here,
Such
but
a
I managed
troll.
to find a couple.
What is
Such a
happening?
troll.
Do you guys not believe that?
No, not in the slightest. He's Captain America. He's like one of the most iconic
A
comic book
C-list
heroes.
character until they made the movies.
Is that true? I
Yeah,
honestly don't.
absolute. That's absolutely true. All of the Avengers were C-list at best until they made the movies. That's why they still had the rights. They sold the
Well,
rights.
comparison to X-Men and Spider-Man.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
I guess
that's the thing. They sold the rights to all the heroes that people wanted the rights to, the X-Men and Spider-Man, and they had to make do with what they had left, the Avengers. But he has actually been in a lot of comics, not that surprising. But I have a couple recommendations here, and what I did was I picked stuff that takes place during World War II. since that is the version of the character this is supposed to be.
Okay, yeah.
So the first one is Captain America Comics #1. I should have wrote down the year for this. It was like 38. Oh no, I did write down. It's 1941. Jack Kirby and
Holy
Joe
moly.
Simon. So this is the very first appearance of Captain America, Bucky, and Red Skull.
When in 1941? Because there's in 1941, America was not even in World War II until after December.
The part of the creation of Captain America was propaganda to get people on the side of joining in on the war. Yeah. This is a very iconic comic cover. This is the one where Captain America is punching Hitler.
Oh, I think I've seen that one.
Yeah, everyone's seen this cover.
Yeah.
So I looked through the comic on Marvel Unlimited. I didn't read it, but it doesn't look like that happens in the comic, but it is on the cover. Comics were very different back then. Like this one issue has like 5 different stories in it. It might be more than that. It might be 6 or 7. And at least one of them was not Captain America. It was some other hero. But I've read a lot of comics from the 40s fairly recently. I read some Green Lantern and Hour Man. They're both DC. But I've grown to really enjoy these early comics. They have a different sensibility, but they're fun. Like, the stakes are much lower in general. Like, they're just fighting gangsters. It's not the end of the world.
Yeah.
But this is a historical piece. You don't need to read a bunch of these comics. Read number 1. See what the comics were like there. See where he's come from, his origin. I think it's pretty cool.
Was Red Skull still Red Skull? Like, was he still like?
He had a red skull. Like, he was noticeably Red Skull. Because I just looked through it. I didn't read it. So if he didn't look like Red Skull, I would not have known it was him.
Okay.
The other one is way more recent. It's Captain America Annual 2018 by Teenie Howard and Chris Sprouse. So Captain America and Bucky come across some concentration camp escapees, and they help defend them from being recaptured. I saw an interview with the editor of this particular issue, and she compared it to feeling like a Kurosawa film, like Seven Samurai. That's kind of the feeling they were going for. A samurai coming in and protecting townsfolk, which are the concentration escapees, from evil people, the Nazis trying to recapture them. I've not read this issue, but I've read other Teenie Howard work, and she's very good. So this is probably an excellent issue. It is very tempting. Like, I don't read stuff that's not X-Men, but I might go ahead and read this issue.
That's not true. Didn't you read Eternals?
I did read all the Eternals.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was quite an adventure. The new series, the one that just ended for people out there, was very, very good, and it led up to the current X-Men event going on, which is Judgment Day.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you very much for those comic book recommendations. I'm going to once again assume that these are on Marvel Unlimited.
Yes, I double checked them now.
All right. Well, with that, Fred, do you want to take us out for your non-sequitur recommendation?
Yeah.
I hope it's Seven Samurai.
It is not Seven Samurai. Although now I want to go watch that movie again. But I've given myself the task that everything I give during these 1940s characters has to be a classic, and I'm defining that arbitrarily as movies that are more than 40 years old, video games that are more than 20 years old, and books that are more than 60 years old.
Okay.
And so what I'm gonna give, because Captain America is like this paragon of virtuous man, I'm gonna give another book about a paragon of a virtuous man, and that is the book To Kill a Mockingbird. This is a book
Oh.
that most people have read, probably. I know that I had to read it in high school, and it was one of the books that I, you go, oh man, I have to read this, and then you start reading it, and you're like, man, that book went really fast. uh, it is a great book. It's a great read, and the character of Atticus Finch is one of the most, genuinely good men in literature. He has all the qualities that a person is looking for in a virtuous man. And that is my recommendation, is that everyone go out and read To Kill a Mockingbird. There was a very good movie made. I don't remember what year, but it was black and white. Uh, and it did a very good job of, I believe that it was Gregory Peck who
It
played,
was. Yeah.
yeah, Atticus Finch. And it was a good movie. It is a good representation of the book. So if you don't want to read the book, you can watch the movie.
There you go. Look at that.
Um,
Double down.
so to piggyback off of uh, Fred saying that Captain America is like a paragon of a virtuous man, the current event, Judgment Day, um, there is a celestial that is judging each person on Earth individually and giving them either a thumbs up or thumbs down. And whichever there are more of, that's the way the world goes. So there are more people who he disapproves of, he'll destroy the Earth. And if there's more people he approves of, he will leave the Earth alone. But Captain America got a big thumbs down. That he
What?
has that he has failed in his mission.
Huh.
I feel like if
I
that was
thought
the
that
case,
was very interesting.
and
Interesting.
I feel like if that's the case and that happened, we would not be we would not be doing
We're,
well.
we're not in good
We,
shape.
we,
We're
we,
we're all gonna
Well,
die.
we don't know yet as readers how people are being judged. So it might be that he himself feels like he hasn't lived up to how he should, and therefore he got a thumbs down. We don't know. Cyclops basically threatened the Celestial and got a thumbs up. He was like, "If you mess with me, I'll stick my wife on you," and he got a thumbs up. Cyclops is amazing. I love Cyclops. But that lends into that theory that it's all about how you view yourself, because Cyclops is absolutely sure that he's done the right thing.
Oh yeah, that is true. That's where they've
Yeah.
taken him in it.
Yeah. So, I mean, he regrets killing Charles Xavier, but that really wasn't him. But I'm not gonna. We've had enough comics talk. Let's move on.
Well, that does wrap us up for our Steve Rogers Captain America episode this week. Thank you guys so much for joining us. Next week, what's it? This should be Human Torch, right? We have the front and the back.
Yeah, I think we do.
I think so. So next week will be the original Human Torch episode. So if you're enjoying these, stay tuned, and we'll see you guys later. Bye.